GM, welcome to the weekly crypto recap by Unstoppable Domains. My name is Josh Gordon, I'm your host, and let's talk about some of the coolest, some of the biggest Web3 stories that happened in crypto this week. We've got 3 stories we're gonna run through really fast. Let's get to it. With story number 1, I gotta talk about Unstoppable Domains. We announced this week that we raised $65 million at a $1 billion valuation in our Series A funding. This is awesome. Congrats to everyone in the UD fam, all the community members that have supported us along the way, our amazing partner network, and everybody at Unstoppable Domains who's contributed to the movement and to the product that we have thus far. It's been 4 years since Unstoppable Domain was founded, and it was really focused on giving you, the people, not companies, the power over your identity and data in Web3. And so now we've grown into this global community, and it's awesome to see this milestone that we've reached. Okay, so here's some numbers for you. We've got 2.5 million domains registered, over 300 partners. So the ecosystem, the partner network, it's growing, and we're working every day to increase our integrations and increase our features and ultimately add more utility to these NFT domains. So what's next? The answer is simple. It's more building, more partnerships, more features, and we've got a bunch of really cool things in the pipeline. I can't wait to share more throughout the year. I want to give a shout out to all the investors in this round, especially Pantera Capital, who led the fundraising efforts for us in the Series A. Unstoppable Domains is here to build a portable, user-owned digital identity platform. Let's make it happen. All right, with story number 2, let's talk about FTX. Now, a couple weeks ago, we talked about how FTX went into bankruptcy. They filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I myself have been affected by this mess, so it's interesting to cover this for me, and also a lot of you out there are also affected by it. But this week, we saw Sam Bankman-Fried, CEO of FTX, he came out and he said his firm would put in an offer to buy Voyager and give customers 100% back of their remaining assets. Voyager's lawyers have actually argued that this would not be in the customer's best interest. So it's interesting here. You see Sam Bankman-Fried on one end saying, hey, let's do this. FTX is willing to buy Voyager and get customers their money back fast. And then Voyager's over here saying, hey, this isn't the best deal for the customers. Now, I'm a little skeptical when I see Voyager make those kinds of statements because A, didn't act in the customer's best interest in the first place, and B, they're just looking to make more money out of this. So as someone who is affected, personally, I'm thinking, I might want to take whatever option is going to get me my money back fastest. And in SBF's Twitter thread here that you can see on the side, he really calls out that FTX would have the mission to return money back as soon as possible. And as an investor, I'm just trying to get liquid again. So personally, I'm in favor of this right now, but I do also want to say I've seen that there's 31 total interested parties that are interested in buying Voyager. So we're going to see who's going to step up next. Who else is going to make a bid? Maybe we'll see someone come in higher than SBF's 75% statement here. So what is interesting about this is that it sets the floor for the potential amount of money that customers might be able to get back at 75%. So hopefully we see someone else. We might see like a Goldman Sachs, like a Fidelity. Maybe they come in at 85. Maybe the court says, hey, who's willing to give customers 100% of their funds back? So time will tell, but it was very promising to see FTX step up this week and say, hey, we're interested in buying Voyager. Now let's see what happens. So fingers crossed right now that this happens fast because this could take 1 to 2 years, but I'm hopeful that we get a buyer who's willing to move quickly. With story number 3, I want to talk about Mirror. Now, Mirror is a cool publishing company in the Web3 space, and they announced Web3 subscriptions. So let me read some stuff from their blog post. Now they say, the new feature allows readers to subscribe to any Mirror publication with their wallet and receive email notifications when content is posted. So for creators, Web3 subscriptions open the door to building a wallet-based community that can be used across Web3. And I think this is really interesting because so many times on Twitter, we see like drop your NFT domain, drop your ETH address, something like that for people who are trying to maybe engagement farm or something. But this Mirror publication subscription way is an awesome tool for creators to use to gain a community, a wallet-based community around whatever kind of content they're putting out. So some use cases that they list are, you could use this to subscribe to essays from leading Web3 thinkers, subscribe to weekly updates from the best DAOs and Web3 projects. You could get token gated experience for subscribers to your Mirror publication. You could even do token and NFT airdrops to subscribers. Whitelist for subscribers for NFT mints. There's subscriber only governance proposals and even like Dune dashboard functionalities that you can add on top of this. So I think this is just a really interesting way, a tool a lot of creators are looking for is how can I create content that's collectible that I can then create a community around and have tools to then figure out how to airdrop things to them and token gate other pieces of content for them. So it looks like Mirror is building all of this functionality within their platform. And personally, as a content creator, I'm going to be looking into how I can use this. I really encourage you to, if you're making any type of video or even picture or written content, check Mirror out. Could be a worthwhile tool to use in your Web3 creator journey. Lastly, this is story 4, but really just a bonus point I want to say. This week we dropped a podcast episode, number 143 on the Unstoppable podcast with Avery, president of Vayner3, the NFT consultancy led by Gary V's. Vayner3 is the company under Gary V's company umbrella. And so we had Avery on the podcast and talked about the NFT strategy for brands and creators in 2022. Really interesting episode. If you're an entrepreneur, you're thinking about building in this space, you're a creator, you have some kind of IP you're working on, I'd suggest giving this podcast a listen. And I think there's some insights in there for you too. So it's awesome having Avery on the pod. This podcast comes out every single Tuesday. So give us a listen. All right, that's it for the weekly crypto recap. We talked about unstoppable domains reaching unicorn status at $1 billion valuation. Mirror comes out with some new publishing tools for Web3 creators, and FTX submits a bid to buy Voyager. Really interesting stuff. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to see you next Friday, dropping a weekly crypto recap every single week. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. See you in the metaverse.